Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
President Byrne,
Here.
Trustees Cook, Schwartz. Here. Williams.
Here.
Hebda.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Markort.
Here.
We have a quorum. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Are there any citizens that wish to address the board tonight for anything other than what's on committee of the whole? Because if it's on committee of the whole, we'll call you then. Okay. Nobody?
Nobody wants to
All
talk to
right.
you.
Village President. Proclamation.
What's me, President?
Let me get my. Okay.
Oh, confirmed.
The National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month, December 2014. Whereas motor vehicle crashes killed 991 people in Illinois during 2013, hundreds of those
What it
deaths.
says.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of those deaths involved a driver impaired by alcohol or drugs. The December holiday season is traditionally one of the most deadly times of the year for impaired driving. For thousands of families across the state and the nation, holidays are a time to remember loved ones lost. Organizations across the state and the nation are joined with the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over and other campaigns that foster public awareness of the dangers of impaired driving and anti-impaired driving law enforcement efforts. The Village of Vernon Hills is proud to partner with the Illinois Department of Transportation, Division of Traffic Safety, and other traffic safety groups in that effort to make our roads and streets safer. Therefore, I, Roger L. Byrne, Village President, do hereby proclaim December 2014 as Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month in the Village of Vernon Hills, and do hereby call upon all citizens, government agencies, business leaders, hospitals and healthcare providers, schools, and public and private institutions to promote awareness of the impaired driving problem, to support programs and policies to reduce the incidence of impaired driving, and to promote safer and healthier behaviors regarding the use of alcohol and other drugs this December holiday season and throughout the year. Okay. The omnibus vote agenda, departments reports A through C. Is there a motion to approve items A through C?
So made.
Second.
Motion second, comments, questions, anything need to be pulled? If not, roll call.
Trustee Schwartz.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markort.
Aye.
Cook.
Motion carries. Approval of Kemper voucher list of bills dated December 2nd, 2014 in the amount of $6,550.62. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Trustees Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markort.
Aye.
Cook. Schwartz.
Abstain.
And for the record, I'd vote aye. Approval of the November 18th, 2014 special village board meeting minutes.
Motion to
Is there a
approve.
motion to approve?
Second.
Any comments, questions, deletions, correction? If not, roll call.
Trustees Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markort.
Aye.
Cook. Schwartz.
Abstain.
Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the November 18th, 2014 regular village board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion second, comments, questions, deletions, or corrections? If none, roll call, please.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Markwart?
Aye.
Cook? Schwartz?
Abstain.
Williams?
Aye.
Hebda?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. What's this, unfinished, or I guess this is new business, huh?
Business. Let's do it this.
Okay. Approval and passage of ordinance 2014-044. An ordinance providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds, Series 2014, of the village for the purpose of financing capital improvements within the village and refunding certain outstanding bonds of the village, authorizing the execution of an escrow letter agreement in connection therewith, and providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax from the payment of the principal of and interest on said bonds. Is that why Kevin McKenna's here?
Yeah, that's why.
All right, Kevin, come to the presentation altar.
You tried to figure out why Kevin was sitting
Yeah, I know he's here. You know, he
I
didn't come
know.
here. He didn't come here to get his beard trimmed,
No, that was
did
yesterday.
you?
Yes, no. Good evening. We had a sale today, and you were very popular. First of all, you did maintain your AAA rating. As the manager pointed out last
Can you
time,
repeat that again?
you maintained your AAA rating, and you got actually a AAA this time from S&P. Last time we had a AAA from Moody's. That does not mean you have 6 A's. You have two AAAs. But we went out for bid, and the bids.
Is that like bond person humor?
It's new math. So
It's a good thing, though.
Yeah. That's, but the bids are supposed to. It's like it's an internet bidding. And it's supposed to go from 9:45 to 10, and it's like eBay. All the bids come in towards the end, and it got extended 12 times. It ended at 10:14 and a half because people kept rebidding. In the packet on the first page, it tells you what the rates are. There's 7 bids, and you can see that the best bidder was Piper Jaffray. But if you look at the second page, which is the photo of the final bids, you can see that Piper Jaffray, and these bids are 2.60 for 20-year money. This is just great. Piper Jaffray bid 7 times and won. Raymond James really was trying. They bid 15 times and lost. And FTN, which is First Tennessee National Bank, bid 11 times. And these others bid anywhere from 1 to 8 times. It was, it's a really good piece of paper. It's AAA. It's long. There's not a lot of really good quality paper out
So
there.
that means they like us.
They like you. Yes, they like you.
Because we're what?
Because you're AAA, because it's wealth, and the whole image, it works real well. And in here also is the rating report, and S&P has a new way of dealing with ratings. They have new standards, and so it's a little different than past rating reports. They have everything is either fair or average or good or strong or very strong. So when you look at the first page on the ratings, you'll see their summary, and that's why they keep using the same phrase, very strong economy, because you're part of the whole Chicago area economy, and they don't look at the village anymore. They look at the whole Chicago economy, and they say, okay, very strong economy, very strong budgetary flexibility. Strong.
Now, is this the rating directive?
That's the rating report, yes.
Is that it?
Yeah,
So we
and
should
so the first.
Go to that page.
Yeah, the next page.
go to the next
Yeah, the next page is actually the report. And so they talk about very strong this and very strong that. Lots of liquidity. That's one of the big things for S&P these days is liquidity, and you've got it there. Strong management conditions, and finally, strong debt and contingent liabilities. And that means you don't have very much debt, and you're in great shape on your pensions.
What does that mean? We help the whole state of Illinois?
No, you can't help the state of Illinois.
I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to do good things in our own town, which you think we are?
Yes, oh, yeah, I mean, and you know, you get,
Are they very good things?
they're very good
Must
things.
be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they excellent?
They're very strong, good things.
Yeah.
That's what it says here.
Okay, I'm just asking.
So- So anyway, it worked real well. Because it's a refunding, the size changed a little bit at the end. We lowered the size a little bit. And so you have the new money portion for the capital projects, and you have the refunding portion, and the refunding portion saved $243,000, and that's worth, present value of today's dollars, $214,000. About 10% of the issue was saved. So I think it went very, very well. And this closes basically on the last day of the year, because we've got to get it within 90 days of the final payment date.
Okay, so are we gonna save any money?
Yeah, you're going to save about $250,000.
Oh, right.
But not millions?
On a $2 million bond refunding, it's really hard to save millions.
Do we have any opportunities with other bonds?
Not right now. Your bonds are in really low condition. I mean, we did a refunding, remember, a couple of years ago?
Right, well, didn't we save more than a couple $100,000?
Oh, you're thinking of the
TIF?
TIF revenue note, which was then refunded, which was then refinanced as a TIF, general obligation bond. And we did save hundreds of thousands on that. But that was at an interest rate of 7%, and we went to a sub 2% interest rate.
Was that hundreds of thousands a year?
No, that was hundreds of thousands over time.
One timer?
Yeah. Pardon?
But just over several?
Over the life of the bond,
Okay.
yeah, over the life of the TIF, basically.
Okay.
You can't save hundreds of thousands of dollars unless you owe a lot of money, and you don't owe a lot of money. You're very,
Who holds the record in northern Illinois?
for what?
Bonded indebtedness. Does Rosemont have $500 million?
You would have to look at either the state agencies or the city of Chicago and some of their components for being large
Are there any
borrowers.
small towns that have hundreds of millions of dollars in bonds sitting out there?
No small towns. There's a
Sure.
couple have done economic development projects like soccer stadiums and have far too much debt on those.
Was that like Bridgeview?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure exactly how much they have, but they had quite a bit, and
All right.
things like that.
But Rosemont's good, huh?
You're higher rated than they are, but they have a fair amount of debt, but you're much higher rated than they are.
They have a little more debt than us.
Yeah. Yeah, but a place like Elgin has maybe $100 million because they're a larger town and everything else.
We've always
You
done
want to
well
sit
with our
down now,
ratings, though.
Kevin, or?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Well, does anybody have any other questions for Kevin?
No, thank you, Kevin.
Okay, sure.
Thank you
All
very much.
right, good.
Motion to approve
Second,
ordinance 2014-044.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I did.
Okay, roll call.
Trustees Markwart,
Aye.
Cook, Schwartz. Aye. Williams,
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, approval and passage of resolution 2014-182, resolution authorizing approval for waiving the competitive bidding process for the installation of Sportfield Lighting at the Vernon Hills Athletic Complex and contracting with Musco Sports Lighting LLC in an amount not to exceed $300,000. Okay. Anybody from staff talking about this one? Dave.
Yes, sir. So in our audience is the Park District and also one of their affiliates, the soccer clubs, also in the audience. As part of our budget process, we did approve $250,000 for addition of lighting. The lighting at the VHAC, it would be for fields 10, 11, and 12. So this would complete the lighting for the remaining fields. One of the pressures that we have with the VHAC is it's very successful. A lot of users, a lot of people want that quality playing time. We really struggle in the spring and in the fall as far as providing those hours because it gets dark so early. So the lighting is one of the reasons, the lighting, we recommend it move forward. There's a resolution in front of you, 2014-182. In terms of the actual cost, we budgeted $250,000. The actual cost is closer to $295,000. We've sat down with Musco, went through all the specifics of what our needs are out there. And the original estimate was based on taller poles that we don't think the FAA is going to necessarily allow us to put in taller poles than what are out there now. So we're really looking to match the same height of poles. For the existing fields, they are lighting going to the west. We're going to add on 2 of those lights. We're going to add new lights shining to the east, and then we're adding 4 new poles with lights. So long story short, it's going to light the remaining fields. The resolution does talk about where we have less money than what we budgeted. I did meet with Musco and the Park District. We went through the numbers. The soccer club is looking to donate $25,000 directly to this project.
Is this the soccer club?
And this is the soccer
it
club,
is.
and
Wonderful.
I'm sure they'll want to get some speaking time too.
Yes.
So, and then in terms of the Park District has agreed to split the remaining 50-50. In terms of budgeting, right now in their current budget, they have $80,000 towards it. So with our 250 and their 80,000 and the 25,000, we'd have enough to sign a contract. What the Park District is asking for is that come June 1, they would be able to pay us the remaining part of it once their next budget's approved. But I don't want to speak for the Park District. They are here and they would be able to answer your questions on that. So that's basically my presentation. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
No, let's hear from the other participants.
The soccer.
I bring soccer first.
Good evening. I'm Andrew Reback, the Director of Operations at the soccer club, and Nate Smith, who is Director of Recreation and Tournaments. So thanks for allowing us to come and talk. And as Dave said, we met a few times, and over the last year or so really have enjoyed the affiliation that we have with the Park District and the opportunity for the kids in the community to use the VHAC. We've got over 500 kids in the community, 50 teams between our competitive travel and recreational. So we see this as part of kind of our long-term strategy to help support the community, to continue
So these
growing the
500
club.
kids are from where?
95%, 96% are from Vernon Hills.
Really?
We pulled a bunch back from Libertyville over the course of 3 years. Nate was instrumental in that, and we've been
Got any kids up there still?
yes, we have a few, not many, but a few, and we've got
So one day you will have a parade?
well, we're currently in the parade. We
No,
participate in the
the start of
parade.
soccer season.
There you go, soccer season.
You ever done one of those parades?
I don't think so.
We haven't. It's in the plans.
Well, when Marquardt and I were involved in soccer many moons ago, we used to go to Libertyville, and there was about 2,000 kids, of which not all of our children were part of those 2,000, that we would have a soccer parade right down Lake Street. And then we'd go to, the fields at,
Sports complex.
what is it?
The sports complex?
No.
that wasn't.
No, no, no,
I
no,
AJ myself?
To the right.
no, that wasn't there.
To the north, Upper Lake.
Yeah, we went to the north, we, right off, where the football
Great.
people still play.
Always thought-
No, they didn't have the 115 acres. You want to hear that story?
No.
It'll cost you.
No.
Okay, it'll take some time. That was part of the open space district purchase. Where do you guys live, north of 60?
I live right here at 591 Evergreen.
You do?
In Deer Path. On
Oh, you don't
Ashland
pay
Court.
for
They're
it.
from here.
Guys north of 60 are probably still paying for all that. The open space district,
Yes, we are.
Okay. With that said, all right, fine. So what do you want to throw down?
We're going to throw down $25,000 now directly to the village, and then we've got a arrangement with the Park District over the course of the next couple of years to continue to invest. Again, the use of the VHAC is instrumental to
Yeah.
our success. We think it's great for the community, and those lights on 10, 11, and 12 are just going to help us
Okay.
extend.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Needless to say, we're going to participate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Okay, Park District.
You're up, boys.
Just under weather, so.
Good evening. I'm Jim Ballou, President of the Park District Board.
Jeff Fougeroux, Executive Director of the Park District.
Okay.
So, as Dave alluded to, the conversations we've had over the last year or so, and with John, our capital efforts, we were privy to being involved with this project of lighting 10 through 12. Obviously, this is not just, and I want to make this really clear, this is not a program that is just exclusive for soccer. And they've contributed 25 up front and then some of the balance to assist us in our 50-50 grill arrangement with your project on the 295 will cover. So it's really going to help us from a scheduling standpoint in terms of also lacrosse, in terms of football. But you see the numbers. I mean, you heard soccer where they've got close to 50 teams, and there's a lot of duplication of use of especially fields 8 and 9 that are lighted. But we know, those fields have goalposts up, they have scoreboards, they're kind of somewhat dedicated with football needs. So it's really going to help us at least advance and progress the use of those fields from a scheduling standpoint. So we're excited about supporting this effort. And be happy to answer any questions. This is a good day, Mayor, that the Park District is supporting future efforts at VHAC.
Yes.
And we're here to tell you we're in it for the long haul. And so we're going to continue to show that.
Yeah, is this the first time you threw down?
I think it might be. In a long time, yeah.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, I know. Larry Nacker needs to speak first.
I just wanted to ask, just wanted to be assured from the point of view of us being able to recognize the revenues, that you're committed not just to the 80,000 this fiscal year, but the 57,500
Correct.
next fiscal.
And so as we allude, so the 80 will be whenever you need the 80, send us an invoice, we'll get it right away. And then our 57 balance will come after June 1. So the board has already agreed to make sure we implement that in our next fiscal year.
Okay.
Is it 57,000?
Well, when you take the math on the total project, the 295, and you try to deduce soccer's 25 commitment, that brings you down to about 270. Okay? And so we're splitting the 270. So our commitment is 135. The village's commitment is 135. We have 80 to provide you now, so that number is more like 50, Larry. Okay? Now, we may see something go north of 295 by the time it all is said and done. So I think Dave and I have talked about figuratively using a comfortable number of around 300, and I think that's where you come up with the 137.5.
Right. You're right, the 137.5.
So Larry, are you okay with this?
I really can't comment on whether it be 300,000 or 295,000. The reason I was asking was so that we can go ahead when we amend the budget and recognize that as a revenue, as long as we have a a commitment from the Park District.
Okay.
And so we'll get that
Okay,
in
very
writing.
good.
We'll definitely, John and I will work on addressing some kind of
right.
LOA and get that in
Okay.
writing. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, now, there's new business to come before,
Do we have to vote on
Need to
this
move
one?
on this one.
oh,
There's
yeah,
a motion
okay.
and a second.
Well, what are we moving on? What are the exact numbers? You want to give that to us, Larry, and
Well, the
So-
total project.
what do you want us to vote on tonight?
290.
It is in the resolution.
Yeah,
Let me pull that, you got the document handy.
okay.
It's in amount not to exceed $300,000. That's what the resolution is for. We do have hard numbers. This project with Musco is a turnkey contract, so they will deliver it in full. The numbers that they've quoted, $289,600 for the lighting itself. There is one variable, and it's whether or not we need a cabinet and a meter. That's an additional $5,880. So you add the two of those up, we're below 300,000. We may not need the cabinet. So I think really what the Park District's commitment is, the soccer club is paying 25,000 off the top. If it's 300,000, that's 275. We split the 275. In terms of the motion would be to approve Resolution 2014-182 as presented, and the dollar amount is not to exceed 300,000.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to that extent?
Motion,
Yes.
I motion
My
it.
second.
And there's seconds?
Yes, I did.
All right, comments, questions? Anything else? Roll call.
Trustees Cook, Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
And for the record, I'd vote aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Okay, I just want to, before we recess, no, we're not recessing, we're actually going to adjourn to committee of the whole. Larry Nakrin, is he here?
Yep. He's over there.
Celebrates 30 years of service to the village of Vernon Hills tomorrow on December 3rd. Well, let's give Larry a standing O.
I don't know if I. Thank you. Oh,
What do you need to say now?
Oh, what a great place the village of Vernon Hills is, what a great place it's been to work, and what a good board, managers and fellow employees I've had, and it's always been an environment where I've been encouraged to do the best job I could and to do the right thing, and I really appreciate all the support I've gotten over the years. And
Now, does good boards include good mayors?
good mayors and.
I'm just asking, that's all. Yeah, because we went to New York one time, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
He and
Or
I were the
twice.
first ones that
Twice
went.
to New York. Yeah.
Do you go with Barb
Yep.
Yeah.
We were the first
and
ones.
just me?
and,
One time?
No, twice
Yeah,
for us.
twice. So you went there three times?
times. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Not
I
to
came
see
away with,
relatives, right?
I came away with the first A
We went
rating
to
though.
see Moody's and Standard and
Yeah.
Poor
No.
and
Yep.
so
No,
on and so forth.
I've worked for great mayors and I've worked for great boards, and I feel very fortunate.
Okay.
If I may.
All right, Larry, well, we appreciate you, which is obvious because you're still here. Isn't that how it works? You know.
Absolutely.
All right. Trustee Williams.
Larry, I directly attribute the comments that were made earlier on our financial standings
Oh,
to
yeah.
you. You've worked very hard those 30 years, and yes, under three separate mayors, I might add.
3 mayors, 3 managers, and I've
Oh,
been
that's
very
right, you were with
lucky
Herb
in each
Kipp
of-
too, I forgot
Oh,
about
no,
that. right.
not Herb Kipp. I actually did not work for Herb Kipp, but
Oh,
I
you-
worked for,
Oh, that's right, Herb left the year before you came,
yeah,
right,
Larry Lashin, Mike Allison, John Calmer,
right.
and of course Mayor Ellis yourself and Mayor Byrne, and I've been very fortunate in all those cases.
You got it. We're very lucky to have had
Because
you.
you're still here.
Thank you, Larry.
Well, not only because I'm still here, but because, I mean, that's nice, but it's also, I mean, very, very nice. But it's also very nice that I've worked in an environment where we've really worked on improving things and building for the future and building a better community and doing it the right way. And I just feel extremely fortunate that I've been able to work in that environment.
And we don't totally interfere with the process.
No.
No.
Which means when Phil was here, Barb was here, and I'm here, we're not here all the time interfering with the process.
No.
We'll let him do
But
his
Is
job.
everybody listening to that?
We'll let him do
You
his
know,
job.
It's not like we're micromanaging, right?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, no, this has been an environment where I think we've been encouraged to be professionals and to, to work toward professional goals of basically good village management.
Okay, Larry. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
We don't have anything to give you unless we got a gift certificate left over
no.
from someplace. You know.
I think we'll go to the prize closet.
No,
Yeah, right, there you go.
Larry,
thank you. But
Larry, the only thing you might get is if there's a grand opening and you get some catered food or
no,
something.
I mean, as I say, I sincerely mean this, that the opportunity to work here has been gift enough, and I feel very lucky.
And we're very happy you work here. So,
Yes.
and that's sincerely from me. And the town is in great financial shape. So all I can say is that's a good thing. So, okay, Larry. All right, now what's next? Adjourn and go to committee of the whole, right?
And I think
Oh, is there any new business for anybody who wants to come before the board?
we have an executive session.
Well, yeah, we're going to go into executive session after
But we're not.
committee of the whole, right?
Right.
To do personnel and ongoing litigation, so. All right, I'd like to adjourn the board meeting and go into committee of the whole.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion is second, roll call, please.
Trustees Williams,
Aye.
Hebda. Schultz. Markwart.
Aye.
Cook. Schwartz.
Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. First item is approval of committee of the whole meeting minutes of November 5th, 2014. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second?
Motion is second. Comments, questions, deletions, corrections? If none, roll call, please.
Trustees Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
Cook. Schwartz.
Abstain.
Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. First item, Cook Memorial Public Library Districts at 701 Aspen, concept presentation of the proposed site to allow expansion of existing parking lot on to Lot 2 at the site, so.
Thank you, Your Honor. Representatives from the Cook Memorial Library District are here to present their plan for expanding their existing parking lot onto Lot 2. As you'll recall, the initial approval of the Aspen Drive Library included 3-lot subdivision. Lot 1 and Lot 3 being the location of the library, and Lot 2 being the location of a potential expansion of a parking lot. The village currently owns this second lot, Lot 2. It's a 1.45 acre site located south of the existing Aspen Library. Village staff has been in ongoing discussions with the library, Park District, and School District on the future use in relation to the prospective plans for future growth. It's important to recognize that the village will maintain ownership of Lot 2 for any of these proposals, and that any improvements will be subject to a local government agreement, which will include shared parking. Hesner Corporation has been working with the Library District on the expansion of the Aspen Library. While no formal plans have been taking place as of yet, the library does wish to move forward with an expansion of parking. With this, the library district is focused on the installation of 51 additional parking spaces. Again, it's probably just a reminder that in anticipation of this property being utilized for parking, the PUD utilizes underground stormwater storage capacity as part of the Victory Center. The existing library is 20,000 square feet with 69 parking spaces. As part of the approval for the parking lot, a variation was granted as 102 parking spaces were initially required. Again, this proposed parking lot expansion will add 51 spaces, which will be a total of 118 spaces, as well as 5 additional accessible spaces. As part of the variation for the initial approval, there was a landscape buffer that was granted that was 40 feet along Aspen Drive. That's right there on the laser pointer, along Aspen Drive, and it's a raised berm. That berm will continue along the southern parking lot, and a variation will also be required for that. Attached in your packets is a draft expansion plans for both the Sullivan Center and the library. Please note that neither the library nor the Park District have agreed to these plans. These are very, very conceptual in nature, and they're just simply here to provide an example of the type of uses that could go forward. However, again, these are things that are very preliminary in nature, and primarily, the library is looking to move forward with their own expansion plans, which is including this 51 additional parking spaces.
Right. Is that about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we have the library here. We have the Park District here. Is there any representative here from, District 73? So everybody's chit-chatted amongst yourselves? Does anybody want to address us, or? Like the library, is anybody here from the library?
No,
Nobody from the library.
Yeah,
Scott.
he's right there.
well, wait, whoa. The executive director's here. You want to speak to this?
I can speak to this.
And who are you?
I'm Wendy Beef. I'm one of the Cook Memorial Public Board trustees.
Well, why don't you bring up your partner back there? I'd like to hear from him too.
Okay.
Stephen Kirshner, Library Director, Cook Memorial District Library. Good evening.
Okay,
So thank you for
sure.
listening, hearing us out. We have been very happy with the Aspen building. It is
Yeah.
completely overutilized, and we are really, really excited about that. The parking, luckily, I guess it's a good problem to have, is just not adequate for the kind of programming that we're doing and the kind of people that we have coming. And I don't know if any of you have attended a program where you had to walk at night or in the winter from Sullivan Center, but it's a little dicey. So we would like to add some more parking spaces in that area that you saw on the map, and we have money to pay for it. So we are, we agree, the board has already approved the funds last year. We have to reapprove them this year because I'm sure they've changed a little bit, but we have the money and we'd like to move forward. So we did go through the process last spring with the other groups, and the big picture of what's going to be around the other piece of that land and how does that impact the parking, and should we do all 160 spaces or just do the 60 we need now, and those were all the conversations that we had. Honestly, the library is willing to kind of do whatever. We're not looking for any more space. We're just looking for parking. So it's just a question of what everybody else is going to do with the space. And we don't want to put in the parking spaces and then somewhere down the road somebody rips them up because there's going to be a building there. That's not good for anyone. So what we're looking for is some guidance from the Village of Vernon Hills and perhaps the other taxing bodies to, what do we do now? What's the next step? And so here we are.
Okay. Who from staff is speaking to that one? I mean, is everybody, you chit-chatted with everybody, Joe?
Well, right, what's before you today is primarily just the parking, the 51 additional parking
Right.
spots. The conversation encompassing the entire Lot 2 as well as expansion plans on other lots, such as the Sullivan Center, are still an ongoing and very preliminary process.
Okay, so the space that would be utilized for additional parking is, you know, something that we totally control.
Correct.
Okay, so, okay, I know I have lights on here, but my question is, okay, I'll go to Joe, if you've been, you know, quarterbacking this, so to say, you know, where's the Park District fall in on this and the school? District 73.
Well, in regards to the 51 additional parking spaces that's being discussed currently, this is, the library is carrying the water in this respect. However, we will always control and own Lot 2, and so they will be subject to an intergovernmental agreement that will allow shared parking with the surrounding taxing bodies. And so that's something that we'll make sure is taken into consideration.
And then, but this won't utilize everything there, or will it come close?
No.
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 Not even half.
Yeah, it's a
It's about
third
a
or a
third.
quarter.
It's about a third. About a third of it.
So then we could,
All right.
as a group, add on later when it's needed.
Yeah. Well, the architect's preliminary work is such that it's expandable. It takes into consideration the berms and the green space that the village would require. And so we're looking at it that, yes, there's immediate need, but any structural planning would look toward the future.
And who's the architect?
The library district is contracted with the Hesner Corporation.
Oh, okay, well, he's here.
Yes, he is. And he
I
can
didn't
answer-
realize
He
that.
can
Answer
answer
any
any
questions.
technical
So,
questions.
do we want to ask Scott anything, or are we all comfortable with these additional spaces? Okay. Any other comments or questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
Well,
We've got a light on Schultz. Trustee Schultz.
yeah, I had the opportunity to meet with Ms. Veith and the director here, and early, it was still nice out. We had shorts on.
Really?
Anyway, we had a very nice discussion, and you know, at that juncture, they were looking at the kind of the 100 and some odd spots that traversed basically the entire depth. And the plan, as it's put forth, allows for a lot of expansion space with the Sullivan Center still, and or whatever District 73 wants to do in conjunction with the Park District, if that ever comes to fruition. But this request here is tailored way back, and it allows them to meet their immediate need, such that if you take a ride by there, on any given point in time, their lot is probably 75% full, and that's without any special programming. So when you get into events, they're definitely in an overflow situation. So basically, it's a well-thought-out plan. Give kudos to Mr. Hesner in the back row there. And I believe that this provides the maximum amount of relief without impinging upon any other future expansion plans in the Sullivan Center. So it's got my full support.
Okay, with that said, would it make sense to just blow out this whole parking lot?
I thought it did initially, but again, it can be added to incrementally. And if this meets their needs immediately, the surcharge would probably only be about a 10% increase over what it would cost to build out the full lot at this juncture. I think they're willing to absorb that, and it still provides 73 and Sullivan with the Sullivan Center Park District with the full capability of exploring their
Well, I mean,
future options.
no, I guess at some point in time, here, you gotta move over. Should this be a parking lot, period? Yeah. I mean, all of it. All this,
That whole strip?
yeah, the whole lot, I guess is all a lot two.
We're not sure of that yet. I mean, we're too far out to where we have any plans. I can't speak for the school district at all. I mean, we really haven't heard anything from them. When we first saw the original plan, it did have a much larger parking lot. We were very amenable when they went back to 51. We had seen some original drawings that were kind of tucked around the side of the building instead of sticking out along the road.
Right.
I don't know what happened to that. I wasn't involved in that. Our only concern is that if it gets too big and asphalty there won't be, and we were to expand, there doesn't leave any green space left. If you want any green space, I mean, granted, it's your land, I mean, you can do with it as you please, but.
What do you want to do with that green space?
Well, it's not so much, it'd just be maybe even be a break between the two areas.
Right.
So that was our
We're
concern.
way past that.
Okay, well, that's,
I would hope so, Jesus.
If I could ask Mr. Stordo to go to the other slide.
What slide?
There you go. Because that kind of shows what the full build-out would be of the parking, including that running north-south.
The Sullivans, yeah.
So, but it still provides a lot of space for the Sullivan Center to expand, provided, and they could use that additional parking just to their east. But again, if
Well, how many
if the
acres-
library is willing
All
at
right,
this
wait a
juncture-
second, how many acres is the blue on the drawing I'm looking, I mean, the one that Stordo just beamed up?
Looks like 1 acre, 41,000 square feet.
How do I do all that?
Whoa. Am I looking at the same
Yeah,
pictures?
It's the purple second from the bottom.
That's only an acre?
He's talking
The
about
purple
the
space,
entire-
yeah.
No, I'm talking about blue.
No, that's the park district.
Yeah, how much is that?
No, that's the library.
That's the
No,
library.
this is the library here.
Right.
Full
The
park,
library's
fully
out here.
parked out. That's the
This is
library parking lot.
Right, this is the park district.
Yeah, right,
And I
but
think
the
that's part
blue,
of the park district.
okay, how much is the blue?
The
And
land just to the north of you, in the blue there.
the Hesner blue.
If I can maybe just interject, the Sullivan Center, which is kind of the tan color, you see the line
Right, and then
green,
there's a blue.
okay, hexagon there. The existing Sullivan Center is about 35,000 square feet.
Right.
So mirroring that, if you just go to the north of that light blue that you're referring to, Mayor,
Right.
is an equivalent size of the Sullivan Center.
And-
So
and
about
so-
35,000. And that is space that we've addressed through several of our meetings that we would need for our possible expansion, as well as the school district's needs as well.
Yeah.
What
But no, but it's like a Texas Hold'em thing, right?
Kind of.
You know.
I'm not sure what you're, what.
Well, I don't know, nobody's
Jumping at the
nobody's
bit in terms
committed,
of-
you know?
Yeah.
Okay. But the part, so I guess where I'm coming from, instead of doing it, half whatever you think I'm gonna say next, at 51, do we just do the whole parking lot and get it over with?
I don't want to do that.
Why?
I'd wait
Why
and
not?
find out if the 51 might fulfill the needs right now.
Well, they're not gonna expand out in that parking lot, they're gonna expand behind the building.
Could I comment? Or
Yeah,
after
you can comment on anything you want.
If you're gonna start to work on the library too, you're gonna impede on that existing parking lot to get in to add on to your new construction. So you're gonna ruin a perfectly good parking lot as you as you expand, which I don't know when you're gonna do that, when you want to expand the library. And you don't know either, so.
No, but I mean, if you're gonna do expansion, it's gonna be to the east, right?
No.
Yes,
Well, yeah.
that would be the intent.
Oh, for
Yeah.
the building?
Little.
Yeah, for the building.
Right.
You're not gonna expand into
No.
this parking lot.
You may though.
I doubt it.
Well, there was talks.
Unless they do a basement. They never did a basement. They should have done a basement. So now we're gonna find out why we didn't do a basement. You're not involved.
I wasn't
You
here.
weren't. I
but
know you
anyway.
weren't. So I'm saying.
Blame Aaron.
Okay. No, it's okay.
It's okay.
No, it's all right. It
Yeah,
got done.
well,
It was nice. It's
We've already given vision to the Hesner Corporation. The library board is in a strategic plan process now. By March, we'll have the plan completed. And one of the aspects in that is our facility enhancement, which would be planning for expansion of the Aspen Library. And the vision we've given the architect so far is that to the east would be a lower level or basement and a full main floor that could be 10 to 20,000 square feet. Whether or not there would be a mezzanine, I don't know. But we know that probably doubling the size of the current facility or more would be necessary to fulfill the needs for the community, because the community has responded tremendously to having that library.
All right, so, again, so why don't we just do it, the whole lot?
Well, if you would approve the whole lot, is my understanding from the Hesners that we would then fulfill any parking requirements for an expanded building. The parking would be taken care of then for when the building's expanded.
And you could do cross easement agreements with the park?
Oh, certainly, yes, yeah. We have informal agreements now with the Science Center and the school.
And so this whole site is what? The lot 2, an acre?
1.45.
1.45. Okay, what would it cost to do the whole damn thing? I mean, the whole darn. It can't be that expensive.
Yeah, I would have to ask the Hesners what.
Well, what would it cost? Dave, what would it cost? I don't know.
Well, we have 51.
180.
Yeah.
161 to be exact.
It's
Oh,
not
my
that.
God.
That was, this was,
It's an acre and a half.
121.
this was a,
121 per Mr. Hesner.
this goes back to the original, and the reason being they had, because we couldn't put a
Yeah.
target. So then we're talking about ending.
250 to 300,000.
Is this, so is,
All right, what do you, okay, who wants to throw in here? What are you throwing in?
is that in there now?
The library board,
What are you throwing in?
well, what are we throwing in? As far as I know, the whole amount.
Yeah,
For your 51?
For the 51?
Oh, how much, is that how much it is?
What, no, we had approved, well, because we had talked about.
Did you throw in for the whole 120 something?
At one time they did.
So you got 300,000, let's just do it. You want to do it?
Well, we did, but it seemed like the groups were comfortable with.
Well, are you guys okay with that? Why?
No,
Well, then tell us why.
because they don't know what they're doing yet, that's
Yeah, so
why.
then we were happy with just
Doing the
51,
partial.
Okay.
moving forward, because it really isn't immediate.
I don't think it was just us, Mayor. I think, going back to the meetings we had, even with
School?
the school, again, it was a concern. And I'm going to go back to the very first meeting we had in this room, and we heard from the village board that conceptually they wanted to keep some green space there. And that
Really?
that was something prevalent in terms of when we brought in an architect to.
Okay, well,
just do some-
wait.
So,
We got green space all over town.
well,
If you need
that's what we
parking
do.
for people
That's
to
what we're in the
use these
business to do,
public
to try and maintain some of
institutions.
that. So.
I mean, we're only talking a couple of acres here, for God's sake.
I think as Jim alluded to, the park board was supportive of the additional 50-some stalls. As Jim alluded to also, we preferred to have it hug immediately south of the building. Now, having said that, we realize it's the village's property and this is a relationship that the village, and we want to be supportive of building out specifically this immediate need that the library has. So we support that. We just, I would really hesitate, Mayor, to building out the whole site. That's just speaking on behalf of the Park District.
I would have to actually point out, I believe at the meeting before, and the school's not here, was a point of they were looking at additional space. And that was one of the reasons why expansion of only building so much of a parking lot. And then with the park district and the school, because the school, I believe, rents facility outside of the township.
Right.
So they're trying to keep it, they would like to be back here, and that was a point with the park district with their building or expansion.
Right, right.
So personally, I would say with the 51 lots, we should go with the 51 lots. In the future, if we have to build, then so be it. But
They're not lots, they're
I mean,
parking
parking
spaces,
spaces.
because
Well,
lots
they're little
means
lots.
a lot's more.
parking spaces.
51 little lots.
Okay, but who on staff can speak to the position of the, school board? Anybody?
I don't think anybody's talked to the school.
Okay, what, setting that aside, this parking lot gets built out, and there's only an acre left then for you guys to do anything?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think
No, I
there's
think
nothing.
the shaded blue area, Mayor, is the area that we've designated for a future building expansion.
I know.
Obviously, we would.
But I mean, that's an acre?
It's probably a couple acres.
Oh, it's a couple.
It's, when you take
Right.
a look at the way this drawing's laid out, that row furthest south that runs east-west is not going to be constructed, so that still is available land. So even if you built out the 121, you'd still wind up with probably the better part of 3/4 of an acre plus the acre that the building sits on, so.
All right. Okay, again, Dave, do you have Hesner's, drawing in front of you there on your
No, but
screen?
I can see it up here, I'll go.
No, the one that's multicolored. No? Okay.
It's not my favorite.
Not that one. Not that one.
I don't care, well,
Your Honor, that.
but this whole, if you did, what we're talking about is the southwest corner lot that's 51 spaces, right?
Yes. Yes.
From the library, blue
Which
to
is what
green
they're,
to chartreuse or whatever it is.
which is what they're
Okay.
looking for.
So,
approval
but the
tonight.
whole lot would be 121. So all the, I guess, spaces truly perpendicular to the 51 we're talking about is another, 60, right?
I believe it shows 126 space. It does show
Whatever it
126
is.
Total?
126
5.
Total.
So,
total.
how much is it?
It's a total 126, so there's 51 that's proposed, and then there's another 125.
Okay. All right, so, but how does that impact on anything between the park district and the school if it's all built out? Is there some I guess, concept that I'm not aware of that would be built into the total build-out of the parking lot? In other words,
We don't know.
At this point in time, I don't think anybody knows.
They don't know.
We don't, Mayor, that's the
Okay.
thing. We don't.
but this is land that was all dedicated to the library.
No.
No, Lot 2 was not.
Okay, so that's no man's land.
That's
our-
our
Correct.
land.
It's our
So it's no man's land.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not aware.
All right,
I'm
so,
not aware-
okay.
Excuse me, I'm not aware of any park district plans to build into Lot 2.
At this
What they're
time.
saying is they would like a little more green space. They have, 8 or 9 acres? There's a lot of green space south of their building by the water park.
Oh, yeah, no question about it.
And
It's just, yeah, I mean, do you guys have something that you're not divulging here? That would involve the remaining, I guess 75 spots, right?
No, it's just, I'm just going to state again, the conversations that we had with all the groups, with all the parties, was initially we were supportive, and this is just speaking for the Park District, we were
Yeah.
supportive of the additional 51 stalls. And we had proposed that we don't know what we're going to do with the future. And we just preferred, and it's just, it's our our position that we just preferred that they be immediately south of the building, knowing full well that this is a relationship between the village and the library. So if you're asking our opinion, that's what that was the board's preference, that's all, through
All right.
the conversations.
Well, if there's no other, trustee Williams?
I've got, excuse me, I've got coal or something coming on, just what I need. So just to make it sure that we all know what we're doing here, you're actually here tonight asking that if we will allow, or if we will put in an additional 51 parking spaces on the property that's just south of the park district, or of the library. Now, when I say we, because it's our land, we would have to be in charge of the parking lot. You would pay us the money to put that parking lot in.
And that would be something that
Everybody
would be
agree with that?
incorporated into an intergovernmental agreement.
Right,
And
per an agreement.
Okay.
the
Because
motion
it's
that
our
staff-
land.
Correct.
We have to control that land, period. We would have to put that lot in, they would have to pay for it, which I don't have a problem with. Secondly, I personally would not like to develop the entire lot at this time. You're only asking for the 51. I don't have a problem with putting the 51 in at this time. Not saying in the future that we won't go back and do the whole thing, but right now, that's all I'm really interested in. I don't know about the rest of the board, but that would be my suggestion, and with that in mind, I would make a motion.
And I'll second your motion.
Thank you.
And that motion was direct the petitioners to begin the technical review process and appear before the Planning and Zoning Commission for a public hearing to amend the PUD at a date to be determined.
So there's a motion and a second.
Wait, time out.
This will go before the Planning and Zoning Commission because it's amending the PUD.
Right, but it's our land.
Correct.
We have to go to the planning and zoning, not them.
Correct.
It's our land. They can be the petitioner, but, right. But just so everybody understands, it's our land. Thank you. Okay, I agree with that.
Okay, if there's no further comments or questions, roll call.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Markwart?
Aye.
Cook? Schwartz? Aye. Williams?
Aye.
Hebda?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Proposed 2015 road rehab program, pavement management update. Dave Brown.
Thank you. In terms of the road rehab project, I just wanted to take a moment and just tell you that we did receive our preliminary draft of the pavement management study. We're going through it. We have to add a lot of information in terms of the cost for our projects, traffic data, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not a complete study yet. What we do know is we've done a really good job in terms of certain areas. Deer Path, it's been a major focus over the last 5+ years of our road program. We've essentially completed the Deer Path area except for Midway and Linden, our concrete streets. We are looking what the streets need to be repaired in the future, and our pavement management study is going to help us with that. Our proposed program is in the NCT area. It's the loop streets north. It's in a map. I don't know if Stortle can put it up for all of us. So the locations are north of Greenleaf Drive. It's all the horseshoe streets. It's also next to the Victory Center, Atrium Drive, let's see, Phillip Road, and the northerly stretch of Deer Path. There is one street we need to drop back and fix. It's DeVille Court. So that's our proposed program. The budget is slightly under 1.2 million. I will, if the board agrees with this program, I direct my staff to start preparing the plans and specifications. As we always do, we try to have this decision made earlier in the process so we can have things out to bid by February and we get better pricing, has been our our historical findings.
Trustee Schultz.
Yeah, it just kind of came to my, I don't get into the back of my neighborhood very often, but I was kind of really surprised. Evergreen's holding up pretty well, as are most of the streets at the front end, but Noble Circle is getting a little ragged.
The south end of Hawthorne Club is getting ragged. That is on our radar screen for potentially the following year's program, and we'll present that, our findings to the board, but it is definitely on our radar screen.
Okay.
A lot of settlement in that area, and we may have to look into the pear trees in that area and how to manage those.
Okay.
So.
You know, Dave, you know, getting down to Midway, you know, in Linden, I mean, you're talking to Bill Court here, but what's, I mean, has anything changed at all down there with regards to it's concrete, it's cut a lot, you know, it's not the smoothest surface in the world. And is that still because of the water table?
Midway and Linden, the original installation, we verified it didn't have sufficient amount of stone below the concrete.
Yeah.
We went through and we've made repairs over the years. The concrete is finding that it's at its useful life, and we very likely will have to go into Midway and Linden and do a full reconstruct, and that's probably going to happen probably within the next 5 years, probably closer to 5
But
then.
at that time, you know, will we be able to use what material?
My staff is looking at either asphalt, concrete, putting the plans together, figure out what our pricing would be, and figure out which way to go.
Well, for whatever reason, is it because there's this, you know, the groundwater's higher there?
You know, I don't know in terms of the groundwater if it is higher. Haven't really learned a lot about that. I know there's certainly problems that you know, the age of that subdivision doesn't have enough drainage structures as we would in a new subdivision. So trying to get the water into the drains, you know, usually you would have more drains, and so it doesn't have to travel as far. In terms of how to address that, whether or not it's got a water table or not, we would do borings. We would find out what's underneath there. My biggest fear for the residents of Midway and Linden, they have put up with its condition. The rideability is terrible. It will be something similar to what the Deer Path residents experienced.
Well, yeah, as far
full reconstruct and a lot of inconvenience. So we're
When was the last
trying to
time?
buy some time.
When did we redo those streets?
ever.
Oh, no, we've done that.
We have
That
redone
area
it.
was
I've
put
been-
in cement.
That was put in many moons
I know,
ago.
but it was originally asphalt, and when we redid them, we made
don't
them
think
cement.
so.
Yes, we did.
It
I
might
was
have
on
been-
the
yeah,
board
it was Pozzolanic then,
originally.
which is a problem all everywhere.
Exactly, but that was the original. And then they were redone and they became cement.
Probably the 80s.
I've been here since
think it
'93.
was
It was done before
You would
93.
have to get
It was in
all
the 80s.
You would have to get
Or
all
early
of
90s,
Scott,
yeah.
Amin, and Jamie Anderson, because they'll
Yep.
have all the drawings out
Yep.
there.
Absolutely, absolutely they will.
They should have it. I mean, it's been a long time, but they were redone once.
Yes.
I mean, they're not the original streets that are there.
So
And you're right, it was a disaster, and there was poor people who just
I
went
just
through hell
thought there was
back there.
real issues with the water table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
all. You know,
we're,
guys.
because this isn't the,
Keep pouring the gravel.
I know.
Put the gravel down, you know.
Keep putting more gravel in there.
Probably grouting it too.
our
Just
our
logging
focus,
solder was the
we're
or the
focusing on putting plans together for the proposed next year's program. We are still investigating as far as the details of that. Very good suggestion. We know Scott at the Anderson Company will be reaching out with him as far
Well,
as
they were
that.
involved, obviously, so.
Yeah, I think they were.
Okay, well, with that said, any other comments or questions?
No.
Okay. Is that about it then? We don't have to take any
That
action.
that is just looking for board concurrence, that is the road rehab program. My staff will go out there, measure things up, put plans together, and get it bid out. At the future board
Everybody
meeting, we will,
comfortable with that on the board?
Yep.
Okay.
thank you, we will bring back an IDOT resolution to you for this project and have that approved. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, is that about it?
Calendar.
Just the calendar, Your Honor.
Okay, well, the calendar's under,
lost it. I had it.
the rest. From what I hear, there's board members up here that
Excuse me.
Yeah,
got
Found it.
issues with it, and it's not gonna be pretty apparently. During
January, that's the only one.
January,
The
February,
the
March.
6th, the 6th is the problem. Well, as long as you keep it to a small agenda and make sure 4 people are here, you got it made. Because that's all there's going to be available.
January
so January 6th, we're missing at least 2 people?
3.
3 people,
I may not be.
I think
How many people?
so 4.
Cindy, myself, and Jeannie, were you going to be here for that one? I can't.
6?
I mean,
You better
I
be
may-
gracious, be going for
No, I'm going to be out of town.
we can push it
Cindy's
back a
having
week
surgery.
to the,
Oh, Tom. Is Tom going to be back from
I don't
his?
think so.
I don't think so.
So-
So that's the 3.
I may. I don't know this yet.
we can push it back to the 13th if you'd like, and the 27th.
Right now, I'm planning on not being here for the 20th, and if you push it back to the 13th, it's a good possibility I won't be here.
Yeah, I
for
might
that
not
one.
be here on that one.
All right, who could be here on the 6th? I can. How many?
It's you.
I may not be here. I don't
Oh, he
know.
might not be here
I
either,
can
so
only
you
bring
can't.
No, we got 4.
Okay,
That's enough, I don't know, and, yeah, that's fine.
all right.
Where's the
So we'll
fourth?
leave it,
Me.
Oh, Cindy's going to come over? Gotcha. Okay.
so we'll make it a short meeting on January 6th.
Yep,
Yeah.
20th,
I think that's okay.
okay.
How many are okay for that? Except Schultz, right? Cook will be back for that. Okay.
And then if you would skip to, well, let's go to March.
How about
St.
February?
Patrick's Day.
I don't think there's anything in February unless people are concerned about President's Day. on the
Okay,
16th.
that's fine.
In March, St. Patrick's Day is 17th. That winds up being the second meeting in March. If we wanted, are we okay to leave it there?
Yeah.
We can have the meeting someplace.
I'm half Irish, and I'm good with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
I'm
7th
fine.
is no good in April. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead of you.
Well,
Yeah.
the 7th is Election Day.
Right.
So do you want to push that to the 8th?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. The 21st is okay. For May, then ICSC is on the 4 days, including the 19th, which is the second meeting. We went ahead and did not change it this past year,
That's fine.
so, okay. Anything in June? July seems to be okay. The 4th is on a Saturday this year.
Yeah.
August, we have pushed it back usually to Wednesday the 5th because of National Night Out on Tuesday. Are we gonna, you want to do that again?
We'll be out that night.
Oh, I know, but you want to come back here. So we'll go on August 5th then?
Yeah, change that, you
Okay.
know, so we can go out.
I was
Okay.
going to say, yeah, we never get to go over there.
And then September, IML is after the second meeting,
Oh, yeah, but the first meeting, when's
7th,
Labor Day?
September 7th. So we're clear of that
we're
one?
clear there,
Yep.
okay.
October 6th and 20th. And then November, December, I don't have any other conflicts for anything that shows up.
Tentatively look good.
I guess the one question I would have is, does the board want to consider potentially having only one meeting in August and one meeting in December?
What'll be better, the middle of the month then?
We
No,
could do
not in
it
For December?
No.
We could do the 15th.
What's the best time to do one then, if
The
we're
8th.
doing one?
We could do it the 8th. Yeah,
Do it the
Okay.
8th.
sure. So we could do one meeting in December. We'll make it December 8th. And then August, do you want to keep it as is, or would you like to consider one meeting in August?
11?
We could do the 11th if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll give it a try, and if we need a special meeting, we'll do it. So, okay. We'll go ahead and put this calendar together and send it. We'll send it back to you guys one more time. Just take a look at it, but we'll go ahead and finalize it for the end of the year. Thanks to Lynn for this, by the way. She did a lot of
So is there a
research.
motion to adjourn and go into closed session to discuss personnel and pending litigation?
So made.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Schwartz.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda. Schultz.
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
Cook.
Motion carries.
Great. Thank you.
You know, I would
Say good night.